Panthers break the huddle to get back out on the floor and begin the second quarter. Our Class 4A Region 4 semifinal broadcast tonight here on the South Central Conference Network is presented by the Knoxville Panther Booster Club. Big thank you again to them for getting us in the building, footing the bill here tonight for us. Baycorn's going to inbound. Knoxville has the basketball to open up the second frame. And, hey, our very own Dustin Harvey has hopped into the comment section here on Go SEC TV. Glad to have Dustin on board with us here tonight and just overall for the Iowa Media Network as Collins drugged that foot behind her for the 7th turnover going against Knoxville. Dustin's got the information there. He is our dedicated sales representative here for the South Central Conference Network. So if you like what you see, like to hop on board with us here in a little bit more of an extended role besides just obviously chiming in the comment section, which we love hearing from you. Get in touch with Dustin. He'll get you going in the right spot because we do have options for just the general fan as Noring's 3-ball is way too strong. The backside rebound on the air ball for Hannah Duncan, who will keep it herself before giving it up to Emma prior to getting to half court. Our fans in the stands package, we'll talk more about that at halftime. Oh, pretty half-court set. Hannah can't get the layup, though. Man, that was about as good as Knoxville has done in the half court to this point with some ball movement to lead to an open look, but sometimes they just won't fall for you. Noring on the other end, those are backbreakers. You hear all the time from basketball coaches, if you miss a bunny, as they call it on the other end, and the team comes back down and hits a three, it's just a little bit demoralizing. And it gets the lead to the largest for Carlisle at 12, 18-6. With that and the pressure in the backcourt, Matt Richhart is going to burn his second timeout of the half. A minute 11 into the second quarter. Carlisle 18, Knoxville 6. We'll be back. Knoxville Panther Booster Club, our presenting sponsor tonight for this Class 4A Region 4 semifinal. I'll tell you what, Jimmy, I got a new goal in life. Jimmy Ott, the one and only. Jimmy Ott, the second, producing and directing for us. And I want to be as popular one day as Emma and Hannah Duncan. I don't think there's another duo in this conference that gets more love, as this is going to be an over and back call against the Panthers out of the timeout, than the Duncan twins do. I guess they're not twins, they're just sisters, but nonetheless. Ashlyn Hamilton's cheering on the Duncan girls. We've heard from several folks that are. And Sue Palong cheering on the Panthers too tonight here with us on Go SEC TV. I'm Dewayne Cook. It's Carlisle 18, Knoxville 6 with 6.5 to go before we get to halftime. Keeney on the drive, can't finish with the left hand. Rebound is tipped around before Baycorn squeezes it. Brittany ahead to Emma Duncan, 2-on-1. Beautiful pass. Hannah gets absolutely hammered under the bucket. She's going to have a couple free throws coming her way, but man, let's watch that one again on Go SEC TV. In transition, they get the numbers here. That's a heck of a pass by Emma Duncan. That bounce pass right on the money. Hannah will have to earn her first points at the line tonight after the foul, which was assessed to number 30, Kalia Freeman. Her second, team 6th, too. So the remainder of the half will be bonus time for the Panthers at the line. We'll see if they can take advantage of it. Hannah misses the first but knocks down the second to get on the board. She had a slow start the other night, too, against Newton, if you recall. Back in that game, which we were there for, she did not score in the first before putting up 5 in the second and then had a big fourth quarter with, of her 16 points, 10 of them coming in that frame alone. Keeney hits the offensive glass, can't get the putback, but there's Pitts for another offensive board. Camito, on the 3. Noring threw it off of Duncan. She steals a possession for the Wildcats, and that'll give the home crowd to give her a nice round of applause. See some of that offensive rebounding, though, creeping up here. This Carlisle team overall this year has not been outstanding by any means at offensive rebounding. They average about 11 a game, which is middle of the pack. Knoxville 10, for example. But you can tell, as they hold an 18-7 lead, they're prepared. They've had 8 days off here since they played last. Now was on the road against number 12 Gilbert. They lost that game, and something we haven't talked about really, too, is Camito's going to try a step-back 3 here. That's off the back iron, and Emma Duncan grabs the board this time. Knoxville with a chance to bring it back into single digits here, the deficit, with under 5.5 to go before halftime. Emma's got it left of the lane, skips it, tries to Hannah. It was tipped out by Camito. It'll stay on that end with Knoxville. But this Carlisle team, opponents only averaging about 47 points per game on them this year. However, their last 2 games at Gilbert last Friday, and then prior to that on February 7th when they hosted Carroll, a couple of conference teams here in Raccoon River, they both put up 60. First time this year they've given up back-to-back games where their opponents have scored over 60 points. And Knoxville, I mean, it's clear as pretty much any basketball team you would see. Hannah Duncan for 3, has it rim out, and Keeney grabs the rebound. More points you score, typically that leads to more wins for you, right? The name of the game is to have more points on the board than your opponent. And Riley Sievers makes sure she adds to her point total for the Wildcats. Her first bucket of the game, and how about her first 3 of the year? Riley Sievers was 0 for 5 from behind the arc prior to that make. Camito has a pass that she tracks down and gets a layup on the other end. And it's starting to get a little out of control here for the Panthers. 23-7 as we approach the halfway point of the second quarter. Baycorn, left corner, Hannah Duncan. Hannah, a trap comes to her. She got it away to Wells. Baycorn was all alone under the basket. She didn't see it, but Brittany gets the offensive rebound, being by herself, and will go to the free throw line trying to earn a couple there. Foul is given to, let's see, who's going to pick this one up. Number 1, Noring, is who they charge the personal to, her first. Teresa Jenkins, Grandma Rose is watching from Bussy and says, go Emma and Hannah. There you go again, the popular Duncan sisters. Baycorn hits the first. And great girls, too. I've had the opportunity to interview them a couple of times, both Emma and Hannah, and they're just great interviews. They do a great job, great representatives of this Knoxville girls basketball team. Baycorn perfect at the line this time. All 3 of her points have come at the stripe. As a matter of fact, Knoxville, if you're just joining us here on Go SEC TV, their 9 points, all but 3 of them have come from the free throw line. They have only hit 1 shot from the field. Breanne White gave it up to Sievers, now hands it off to Noring around a screen from Keeney. Noring flipped it up there, and a blocking foul is going to be called. She gets bailed out on the contact. That was a wild shot as Anna Anderson, back in the game for Knoxville, picks up her second personal. Stopping the clock, we just passed the halfway point of the second quarter. 3:52 remaining before intermission. Barry Smith's commenting in with us as well, and he has been a huge help to us this year from an IT standpoint there at Knoxville High School, and thanking us for following along with the postseason trail with the Panthers. And Barry, we got to thank you too, because I know you have a big hand in that booster club work with the Knoxville Panther Booster Club. So thank you, sir, for letting us do all of that. Noring knocks them both down. It's 25-9, and Cindy Ford Herchak is watching from Bussy as well. Baycorn gets bumped by Keeney, and as established earlier, we're already in bonus time. That will be team foul number 8 against the Wildcats. So Brittany will toe the line again for the 1-and-1. But Knoxville needs to try to find some offense here besides the free throw line as they trail 25-9 with just a tick over, 3:45 to go here in the second quarter. Brittany hits the front end, so she'll get to see the second. She's the leading scorer now with that make of 4 points. Emma and Hannah Duncan, the 2 leading scorers for this Knoxville team on the year, at just over 14 a game, have combined for 3 at the moment. And Baycorn's perfect. She's knocked down her last 4 free throws and is 5 for 6 in the half. 25-11. If you're the Panthers, you'd love, I don't know if they'll be able to cut it into single digits here before half. You'd certainly love that in a perfect world, but got to be, I would think, as we sit at a 14-point deficit here at the moment, around that 10 mark. That's a good way to start there. Emma Duncan gets a steal, finds Hannah on the left wing, beats her man off the dribble, Sievers, and got bumped on her way to the hoop. Couple free throws coming. You'd like to see her finish it for an old-fashioned 3-point play chance. But she'll go back to the line where she's 1 for 2 tonight. Sievers of Carlisle picks up her first personal. By the way, we haven't even looked at the bracket here on this Class 4A Region 4 as Hannah hits the first, but As it is a semifinal, that means the winner of this one will have one more game to go before they ultimately would have a shot to go to state in the regional final, which is scheduled for next Tuesday against the winner of that Ballard and Adele DeSoto Minburn game happening tonight. And there is a live feed of that game. We'll be checking in every once in a while here as we get back to action. We'll maybe save that for halftime, Jimmy, and see if we can get an update there on what's happening in Ballard tonight. The fourth-ranked Bombers, certainly the favorites over the ADM Tigers. Probably the favorites out of this regional. Spin move from Camito. Wow. That was pretty nasty. And that's a freshman, folks. Duncan for three, short. And Camito gets the rebound. 27-13. That was just some nifty footwork. Kind of an eye-opener. Keeney for three, not this time. Baycorn tipped it, but it ended up in the hands of Riley Sievers, who brings it back out. Over to Camito. Euro step in, and that left-hander didn't go. She made the difficult one look easy, and it wasn't necessarily easy, but misses the open look, I'll say, at the rim. 27-13 with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. 14-point advantage for the Carlisle Wildcats, who have led from the opening tip. Butel into Baycorn. Brittany gets it back to Emma. 12 on the shot clock. Emma, left-hander, off the window, didn't fall, but again, more free throws coming here for Knoxville. As she'll get a pair, that came on the shot. And typically this year, that has bode well for the Panthers in getting to the line. I mean, this is a team that shoots 62% at the stripe, so that's definitely above average, I would say. As Emma knocks down the first here, the foul was given to Noring, her second. Emma's 3 for 3 tonight at the line. That's been her 3 points. And head coach Brian White will use his first time out of the half. We'll keep it here. And let me finish that point, then maybe we can check in on that Ballard game, Jimmy, as he gets that queued up here. But this year, in the 15 wins for Knoxville, they average 18 attempts at the free throw line. In their losses, that number's at 12. So when they can get some freebies at the line, they typically do pretty well with that. But they need a heck of a lot more at this moment. Let's check in on that Ballard and ADM game here currently going on. Looks like Ballard with a big lead there at the half, 29-11. So that is progressing as probably on paper you would have imagined with the Bombers and the Tigers. And it really bothers Jimmy. Those are two conference teams, by the way, out of the Raccoon River, Ballard and ADM, that are meeting in the postseason here. Not too atypical. We saw EBF and Sheraton boys last night meeting in the postseason for South Central Conference purposes. And Duncan hits the second out of the timeout for her 4th point of the night. But it really bothers Jimmy that there's 3 Tigers in the Raccoon River. ADM, Carroll, and Gilbert. Right wing 3, hit it. Did Breanne White. That's number 20 of the year for White. And that doubles up the lead here at 30-15. Wells can't keep up with the dribble on the transition play here for the Panthers. That pressure again for the Wildcats. Coach Richard said he was concerned about it. That'd be the key tonight, was how they handled it. 9 turnovers here in the first half for Knoxville after they turned it over 9 times total against Newton back on Wednesday. Good defense there. Baycorn and Emma Duncan on a double team. Emma stripped Keeney on her way up for the 7th turnover of the Wildcats. Emma right side, Anna Butel gets inside the arc, back to Emma. A little bit of a low passer. Emma might have had a shot at a 3-pointer there. Under 90 seconds to go first half. What do we have, a travel call? They do. They do whistle Emma Duncan for the infraction, and that's the 10th turnover for the Panthers. Under 90 seconds remain before we hit the locker room at half, and it is Carlisle 30, Knoxville 15. Trying a contested 3 here that rims out was 15 Brooke White. Rebound for Larissa Wells. Off to Hannah Duncan. Now Emma is going to bring it up. We got the Pearson boys watching tonight too here with us. Aiden, Grady, and Kobe cheering on the Panthers. And a foul call. It's going to go against the Wildcats here. Number 23, Camito, just picked up her second. So there's a little bit of foul trouble. Nothing too terribly concerning, I would imagine, for 10th-year head coach Brian White at the moment on the Wildcat side, as Wells hits her first attempt of the night. She is, the senior this year, a 44% foul shooter. Camito takes a seat. Noring's back in. But Noring, Comito, and Austin all have 2 fouls each for Carlisle. So, again, just something to monitor there. Wells misses the second. Noring gets the rebound and brings it up the other way and got it to fall with the right hand. She's got 11 points here in the first half. And the lead 32-16 with 45 seconds remaining in our second quarter. Butel tries a three. Off the front lip of the rim. Rebound for Brooke White. About a 2-second difference between shot and game clock here. Under 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Keeney sent Baycorn flying. And it was tipped out of bounds by Brittany on that shot attempt. So it's going to stay on this end under the basket. 23 seconds on the game clock, 21 on the shot clock. Noring will inbound. Right wing three for White off the back iron. Rebound tracked down by Noring. Now the shot clock is off. Emma Duncan's all the way out there, right in the hip pocket of Noring, and she's going to pick up a foul, her first. Team 5th, I do believe. Yes, that's correct. And here's the final 15 seconds of the first half. Noring has Wells, checker here, left wing. White for three, off the mark. Butel with the board. Anna Butel off to Emma Duncan with 1 second. She puts a runner up that's off the back iron, and that'll be all she wrote for the first half, which saw the Knoxville Panthers knock down one shot from the field. One. A first quarter three from Larissa Wells, and with that being said, folks, it's a deficit, certainly, here at the break. But the fact that it is just a 16-point game and they hit one shot, it could be a lot worse. I'll tell you that for sure. Again, a huge thank you to the Knoxville Panther Booster Club here for sponsoring our coverage tonight, presenting sponsor of the Class 4A Region 4 semifinal. We will take a short break and total up some unofficial stats from that first half of action and bring you back with those in our halftime show here on Go SEC TV.